Wales, and said he and his team would look closely into the potential trade during a think tank event in London. Although US aid for Ukraine is unlikely to be renewed under Trump's presidency, the expansion of the European arms industry means that aid to Ukraine may eventually become cheaper and more abundant. We can already see Ukraine's shift towards European weapons contractors, recently signing contracts to purchase Sweden's Gripen fighter jets and the French-made Rafale F-4s. It should be noted that this is all very consistent with President Trump's policy towards European security. At the end of his first term, he ordered a reduction in US troop numbers by nearly 10,000, although this was ultimately cancelled by Biden. The act of adding or removing troops isn't at all unusual for US presidents. However, the manner Trump is doing so certainly is. Supporters of the troop reduction believe that Europe should indeed become more self-reliant, which is less likely to happen with a high level of US protection. Critics, meanwhile, believe that if Trump is making these movements as a form of punishment, which seems to be the case in Germany, this may make other members of the NATO alliance question the reliability of the United States. Others believe US reliability is already a thing of the past, with President Trump so far threatening to annex 2 NATO nations since taking office a second time. With this in mind, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has insisted that any number changes are not a punitive thing. Rubio also said that the changes have been made in coordination with the European allies, stating, quote, "Any decision that's announced is viewed through the broader context of some of the frictions that we've had in recent months. But at the end of the day, I think it's well understood in the alliance that the United States' troop presence in Europe is going to be adjusted. That work was already ongoing, and it's been done in coordination with our allies. Tensions between the US and the rest of NATO will likely continue. However, considering the pact is harder to escape than any average gym membership, viewers shouldn't expect the alliance to break down anytime soon." The UK Parliament agreed on a
Oh,
with the long-term goal of phasing out smoking forever. Starting from the 1st of January 2027, all citizens born 2009 or later will be unable to buy cigarettes, cigars, or tobacco. Existing smoke-free areas, including all forms of transportation, will now also be vape-free. Additionally, government ministries will have the power to regulate flavouring, packaging, and marketing of all vaping and nicotine-based products. The act of smoking will still be legal for all citizens born before January 1st, 2009. Public Health England, an autonomous agency working with the UK Department of Health, estimates that there are currently 90,000 regular smokers between the ages of 11 and 15. The agency also states that roughly two-thirds of smokers within the UK begin to smoke before the age of 18, despite already existing legal barriers. It's hoped that the generational smoking ban will slowly phase out this trend for younger smokers. Although the UK is often criticised